When people talk about depression, I think many things come up. It's clear that depression is part of our society. We live in a world where we are bombarded with images and concepts of what it is to be happy. And when we don't have these things, we start to question our life. At least that's what I did. At the height of my depression, I had all the things that one would imagine equals success. But yet inside, I felt very unhappy, very disconnected, very lost. And I didn't understand why I was feeling the depression when all other aspects of my life were seemingly perfect. And that's what's so hard in a Western society, I think, for people who struggle with depression, because, I don't live in a war zone. I have a roof over my head. I have food on my table. I am very lucky to have the things I have. And yet I still felt depressed, and therefore I felt this guilt and shame over the depression. But depression is part of the human existence. Depression, anxiety, the challenging emotions and states of feeling are there to allow us to regulate. They're there to let us know that there's something unsettled inside, something that's disconnected, something that needs looking at. They're not wrong. They're not an indication of something that's broken. When I went to my doctor to tell them that I was depressed, I was given the magic pill of antidepressants. Now, I believe that antidepressants have their place in our society, but what would have been more helpful is for the doctor to take the time and give me the support I needed to look inwards. I've been in and out of therapy all my life. I think therapy, talk therapy, as well as other forms of therapy that exist, are an incredible way to heal and to help depression. But we live in a country where there is a mental health crisis. The NHS can only help the most intensive and extreme cases where people are so poorly that they are then given the support they're needed. The average person who struggles with depression, like me, isn't given the support. So I was privileged and able to afford private therapy, but many people can't in this country, and that makes me really sad. The magic pill that they gave me did not cure my depression. It softened those feelings, it numbed my feelings of depression and anxiety, but it didn't give me any tools to manage my depression. And when my depression began to grow, I couldn't cope. I now lived in this numb experience of life where I didn't feel depression and anxiety that much, but I didn't even feel joy and passion. Everything had been turned grey. And I didn't enjoy being in that state. There is now a lot of research coming out that's showing that antidepressants don't work long term. And often people who try to come off them have such a hard time with withdrawal that they end up staying on them. But what we are seeing with a holistic, all-encompassing approach with talk therapy, with EMDR, with plant medicine, there are multiple ways that we can look at healing depression and anxiety. And most importantly, giving people the tools to self-soothe, to sit with their depression and anxiety, and to feel okay about it. Because feelings will always pass and things will always feel different in time. But we live in an Amazon Prime society, right? I want to get rid of my bad feelings. I want to shove them out of my head, out of my body, and I want to get straight on with feeling good, efficient, back to work, back to, serving capitalism, and I don't want to have time to feel. And society also judges that the individual that wants to sit and feel and take some time for themselves and connect with nature and look after themselves. There is a pervasive attitude that's growing that it's not okay to be mindful or allow that self-soothing practice into your life, that we should be, you know, working and achieving and succeeding and making loads of money and that's success. But success for me is being able to recognize my feelings and be okay with them. And then when I feel pretty shitty about things, is saying, hey, I feel shitty right now, and that's okay, and reaching out to my husband or to a brother or a sister or to someone that is in my life or my communities that I love and saying, hey, I need some help. Can I talk about how I'm feeling? And for me, that is success, to be able to have a process that allows me to heal, but also allows me to know that it will get better and it will be okay. So I think this country needs a complete overhaul when it comes to mental health. I think there needs to be bigger communities between men with each other and women with each other. There needs to be sisterhood, there needs to be brotherhood. And there needs to be a collective support system in communities that allow people the tools and growth to work through things that they need to. There is no face of depression. As I said, at the height of my career, I was the most depressed I've ever been in my life. And it is only now that I can see why I was there and where I've come to. But it's okay to be depressed and it's okay to ask for help. And there are people that want to help. And there is no right or wrong way of trying to help your depression. It's just about what feels good for you. And it takes time. Have you ever struggled with depression? Does any of this resonate with you? What do you think? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below.